No matter what problem you're currently facing, it can all be solved by learning something new. If you don't have any friends, you can learn how to be more social. If you have an unhealthy diet, you can learn how to cook better, etc. Learning is the answer to literally everything. The problem is we've forgotten how to do it. TikTok and other short form contents have distorted our idea of what education looks like, turning it into memorized facts and dopamine hits instead of real understanding. That's the gap between a schema and a highlight reel. So how do you actually build real knowledge? 3 things: structure, motivation, and consistency. Structure is actually the easiest one to get, but this is the one people struggle the most with. And the reason for that is because they rely on things like instructors and universities and high school and TAFE to give them structure for a subject. None of that is necessary if you give yourself structure. How can you do that? Now, it's kind of ironic that I said that, because the way we're going to do that is actually by taking advantage of these people. I'll show you guys here. Now, if you look at my screen, we can see that I'm on an Introduction to General Philosophy, a totally free resource given by the University of Oxford on YouTube, and a bunch of 5-10 minute lessons all online. These give you structure. Now, if you just look at the initial concept and watch the 5-10 minute video and then further expand your ideas on that, you give yourself structure, and that way you can build the foundation you need to learn more, right? You don't know what topics. When we're looking at general philosophy, I don't know what to start with. But this tells me I need to start with the birth of modern philosophy. I need to go to Aristotle and Galileo. It gives me structure. This isn't the only resource that we have. If you want to learn about literature, there's free lectures on literature. If you want to learn about coding, transformers, and LLMs, I'm not sure what those are, but you can learn about it. And there's an entire 2-hour 9 lecture circuit all online at your disposal. Now, if you don't enjoy learning that way, because I know a lot of you don't, another great resource is just follow a textbook. Get any textbook that you know is okay, and you can just go online and find the best rated ones, and you can just go and use them. Now, I know what you're going to say. Hey, Daanish, textbooks are expensive. Now, you're going to go have to buy them. You're going to go and have to buy them because piracy is very illegal. Now, please, whatever you do, do not go to Zed Library's Reddit page. Do not find the best free links that still work for Zed Library. Whatever you do, don't go and search up the textbooks that you find are pretty good in Zed Library, and don't go and get a free copy, which takes about 5 minutes. Don't do any of that because piracy is bad. Now guys, what I'm getting at is these resources are all available to you and they give you structure. The easiest way of getting structure. If I go and I click on read an introduction to political theory by Haywood, I find that the first thing that I'm presented with, if it chooses to load, is a contents page. And just like the lectures that I had 5 minutes ago, this contents page will act as my structure. I don't know what I need to start with when it comes to political theory. Okay, I need to start with human nature, the individual and society, politics, government and the state, sovereignty, for example, right? And the list goes on. This is the easiest way to give yourself structure. You can split it up. You can give yourself a 10-week program where you need to do 1 chapter a week. And very simply, taking a couple hours out of your day, out of your week, you can get very, very competent at a topic. The time will pass anyways. And as I said before, you'll solve a problem. You can learn how to cook, you can learn how to make more friends, you can learn coding, you can learn how to invest, you can learn anything you want. Right now, I'm learning how to educate because I'm going to be a teacher. So that's what I'm spending my time doing. Just go and do it. It's very easy. Alright, now's the one you guys have probably been waiting for. It's about motivation. Now, I have a very special presentation for you guys, a very high budget, so please pay attention. It's called The Evolution of Dopamine. Now, in an ancient predatory context, I skipped a slide. In an ancient predatory context, what happens is that the second our prey is spotted by our lion over here, famous actor by the way, the very second the prey is spotted, our dopamine receptors are flooded. Oh my god, there's a reward there. And suddenly the lion gives chase. And he chases. And he chases. Until our prey is captured, right? Now, this is a beautifully short cycle. In fact, this probably took minutes to hours of the lion's time, and it works great. Why? Because the second the lion gets dopamine, it's guaranteed a reward. If it catches its prey, it's guaranteed a reward within hours. Our dopamine cycle was designed for very short projects. That's the honesty of it, right? What's the problem, right, in a modern learning context? This is the problem. The project begins with zero praise signal. We don't have any dopamine. We don't have any motivation to begin, except maybe intrinsic motivation, which is very important. The point is, the lion starts. He goes through days of slow progress with no guaranteed rewards whatsoever. And he gives up and seeks an easier reward, right? And easier rewards are everywhere. In fact, our mobile phones are an easier reward. Instead of recording this video, I could choose to lay on my bed and scroll through some TikToks, right? And I'm guaranteed that dopamine, and that's the problem. So, now we're going to talk about how we fix this. Thank you for watching my presentation. In the next part, in about 5 seconds when I finish this, we're going to talk about how we can use this evolutionarily engineered process to our advantage. Because so far, people have been using it to take advantage of us. These social media companies, they don't care about you, they care about money, right? So they used this science against you. Now you're going to use it against them. You're going to stop all this nonsense and you're going to learn. And we're back over here. Now, the dopamine cycle is very counterintuitive to a modern day. Why? Because learning how to code, mastering a skill, starting a business, these take time, energy, and effort. And this takes a very, very long amount of time, right? Now, your brain isn't broken, it's just not wired for this lifestyle. So what you're going to do is very simple, and I know it's been heard before. You need to split up your learning goals into very, very short objectives. But also think about each moment like it's the prey. First, I want to get chapter 1, then I want to get chapter 2, then I want to get chapter 3. And at every stage I'm learning something, I'm getting better, and eventually you will reach that big goal. But don't make the big goal the prey. That's the problem, right? Otherwise, it's like I said before, you're going to go and like the lion did, he gave up his business and he chose to sleep, right? That's what's going to happen. All right, we've spoken about structure, we've spoken about motivation. Now, I want to talk about one more thing, and that is consistency. Now, I want to bring up 2 things about consistency. The first one is to not jump around in your goals. It's a very common thing. Messi didn't start with badminton and 2 weeks later go to tennis and then go to table tennis, and then why are these racket sports, and then jump to soccer. Messi played soccer since he was 5-6 years old and he stuck with it. And the reason behind that is because the only way to get better at something is to keep focusing on it. Now you can focus on a number of things, but we get into this trap where we do exactly that. We start playing soccer for 3 months and we want to go get to the World Cup, and then suddenly we're like, oh wait, no, badminton's more fun. And then we start playing badminton and we're like, okay, we want to go pro in this. And then we start playing chess, and then we start this and that, and we want to do coding and music and this and that. It's all great to have ambition. However, you need to check your ambition. And the way you do that is by setting specific long-term goals that you actually commit to. Otherwise, you don't actually end up getting anything done. It's the biggest trap in your 20s. I'm in my 20s, so I know. The biggest trap is having too much ambition, jumping around. Focus on a couple of pathways. Become really, really competent at them. And I guarantee your life will improve. Now, part of that is also focusing on what you need to improve on, figuring that out. That's always step 1. Once you finish step 1, that's when you start. Now, I need to note, this is only for your hobbies. This is not for your pastimes, right? For your pastimes, the point of them is to pass time. You're not improving at them. But for your hobbies, those things that you actually genuinely improve at, you get better at, you build those into life skills, you need to have this understanding. And when we're learning and trying to improve our lives and solve problems, we need to focus on specific things. You can't solve everything at once. Focus on one thing. Once it's solved, focus on the next. All right? That's it. That was pretty quick. That was pretty rapid. The other thing I want to talk about is how the other way to stay consistent is just to do things. It sounds dumb. Now, I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. What I mean by that is sometimes we tell ourselves, okay, we're going to do one recipe every single day. And then 3 weeks passes and we've only done one recipe. And that was on the first day. And then we get demotivated because we didn't stick to our plan. Sack the plan. Look, we're not perfect. Just do it one more time. Always tell yourself, I'm going to do it one more time. 3 months passes, do a second recipe. 6 months passes, do a third recipe, right? Because a lot of people get discouraged. They look at their very ambitious, daily routines that they've made, and they say, oh, I didn't do the second thing, I didn't do the third thing, I'm not going to bother doing the fourth. Do the fourth, right? Consistency isn't about staying perfect and sticking to a specific plan. If you can do that, go for it. A lot of us can't. So what we need to do is we just need to do things one more time. That's what I tell myself. I've spent the last few years improving my chess game, and I've gotten to a very competent point in my opinion. For any of you that play chess, recently I hit 1900, and I'm proud of that milestone as something that I do in the background as a hobby, right? There are days I do not feel like playing chess, and I don't play chess on those days. However, I tell myself, I'm always going to play one more game at some point. I will. And then sometime when I'm bored, I don't have anything else to do, I still don't feel like it, I force myself to do it. Just do it one more time. I have this short video clip as an example for you guys. Now it's a bit of fun, we've had a bit of fun this video, watch it now. If during the week, you remember you need to every week get one chapter of this textbook done, all you can do is you can just stop whatever you're doing, you can prioritize the learning, right? Find some time for it in that day and just get it done. You're gonna have to view it as some kind of work. You're gonna have to view it as a difficult task you need to finish. It's the same as going to the gym, it's the same as cooking a nice meal for yourself instead of getting takeout. These things take time, they take effort, and they're not fun. However, in the long run, it feels good. And again, what we spoke about 20 minutes ago, if you consider finishing that chapter as the burst of motivation, if you can make yourself feel pleasure from it, you will do better as a learner. You'll do much better as a learner, alright? Now, that's all I have to say about consistency. You can do whatever strategy you want. You can do time blocking, you can do... Whoa.
Look at that road! Wait, we're about to go on that road. Holy shit. What is the speed limit here?
You can block out time, you can allocate time, and then you can do anything inconsistent. At the end of the day, my best tip for you guys, just get it done. It's work. It's work. Treat it like work. Once you get it done, you can go have fun. Check it out. We're done, so now we can have some fun.
I got like 7 assignments.
Now, the point of that video clip, right, was just to show you, sometimes you realize, oh wow, I've been working on this video for the last 2 weeks and I haven't gotten around to finishing it. Just do it. Just do it. Who cares? You told yourself you're going to film day 1, day 2, day 3, and then you miss 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. Do it one more time. That's it. That's how you stay consistent with a lifelong hobby, with a problem that you're trying to fix. All you do is tell yourself one more time. Alright guys, now that's all I have for you guys. I did get previous Daanish to record an outro, so I'll let that play now, but we've covered how to get structure through university and textbooks and, you know, YouTube. How we get motivation, which is realizing that our dopamine has been fried, our dopamine receptors, I should say, have been fried. We need to stop consuming short form content, and we need to recognize that our dopamine was built for a ancient context. In our modern day, we need to apply it differently. We need to figure out a way of controlling it. And now we've also looked at consistency and how to stay consistent, and the trick to staying consistent is just to do it one more time. That's it. Sack everything else one more time, right? So that's all I have for you guys today. Cue the outro. Wow, that's great. Anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed my video on learning. Oh my god.
Behind the scenes of the video?
Yeah, the actually are behind the scenes. I hope you guys really enjoyed my video. I'm planning on releasing a bunch more videos in the future. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you guys want to see more. And go follow me on Instagram, originalhomie678. That is Daanish out. Go become good learners. Go fix your lives. As I'm going to go try and fix mine.
Mujhe tumse pyar karta hoon.
Have a good one, guys. Love you.